Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Happy Tuesday. Hot on the tails of the trial from yesterday from Hachette Partworks, which we were doing the Batman figurine. Today we're going to be looking at the U-boat U96, again from Hachette Partworks. A lot more to do on this one than there was in the Batman one yesterday, but this really does remind me of the Bismarck build. It's 140 centimetres in length and there's 140 issues as well, so very similar to the Bismarck. But I'm going to show you a breakdown of everything this is today. Remember, this is a trial. If you don't know what trials are, what I suggest is look at the video from yesterday, which is Batman's video. I talk about what trials are. I think we're going to be getting 4 issues of this one again, but let me show you what's in the magazine. So I've zoomed out my top camera there. It comes on the card again. We've got the magazine and we've got the parts there. This is the website, which is also in the video description to go to. Now you can subscribe to this once again. It does express an interest. Whether you get it or not, that's another thing until this goes into full production. Just so you know, this is actually in full production in Germany at the moment. So the whole model kit is out there waiting to be built. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see this one sometime or another. This is some information on the back regarding this. Now, the whole thing is remote control, so everything's going to be just like the Bismarck, operated from a control panel. But the propellers run, you've got rotating rudders, elevators fore and aft, the drop and weigh anchor, so the anchors move, the front torpedo muzzle flaps, extendable rotational periscope, extendable radio direction finding frame, red and white interior lighting, and a diesel sound ASDIC ping. And that's what's actually coming in stage 2 there. As you can see, it looks like we do have some of those electrics and a little motor to go there. Now, just like the trial build yesterday, this one was $1.99, the next one's $6.99, and then from then onwards it's $10.99. That could change when it comes into full productions, as could the free gifts that probably come with this. Now, this is 1/48 scale. As I said, it's 140 centimeters long, it's 13 centimeters wide, and it's 30.5 centimeters high. The whole thing being metal die cast, and there's some plastic in there as well, obviously all the details are plastic, is going to weigh 6 kilograms. So you've got to think, if you're going to have this on a shelf, can the shelf hold 6 kilograms? But let's look at the magazine. So just like the Batman build, we do have a brochure regarding the submarine we're about to build, 1/48 scale. It's looking just like that. This is just some information about how the instructions work and how we put things together. And this is pretty much well, I'd say it's scale. I don't think it's scale. I think it's slightly smaller than it's going to be here. But if I hold this up to you here, you can get an idea of how big this is. And obviously it's got all those features that you saw on there. It also shows us what's coming in stage 3. And as you can see there, we've got another piece here for the outside of the submarine, and some electrics there as well. So electrics in both of these packs as well. Some of the free gifts you get, and once again, these could change, but we do get free magazine. We get a plate like we did for the Bismarck. We get a binder. We get a toolbox. So you've got your screwdrivers in there, different bits at the end. And this one does comfortably come with some 4 metal figurines. Now these metal figurines, I don't know if they're going to be big enough to fit on the ship, on the submarine, or if they actually stand alone. They look like they should be able to fit on there, but these would be tiny if they do. Not sure about those. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is available in Germany at the moment, and there is actually an advertisement spot for this, so you can see all the features and benefits that this U-boat has got. So check out this video. Doesn't that look impressive? That's excellent. Okay, so once again, we have got, as you can see, this little card here that you'd give to your newsagents. So if you wanted to have a newsagent subscription, you'd fill this out and they'll reserve that for you on a weekly basis. If you didn't want to do that and you haven't got a computer, you can subscribe to this online. And again, all the details of it here, but with a mail order form, so you can post this off and they'll create your subscription there. Oh, there we go. Look, these figures are 3.8 centimeters tall, so they are quite tall. I don't know if they are in scale to the submarine though, so I have to think about that one. Someone might be able to tell me in comments, but that's what they look like there. Again, I'll show you a close-up of that. Just details of the free gifts as well. There is also a case. Look at that, for an extra £1 per issue. The case is plastic. It's a plug-in system, so you just slot things together. That looks pretty cool, but it's going to be a big old base for this, that's for sure. A big old display cabinet. Okay. This is the instructions here. So this is everything we get in the first stage. Now I have already opened the first box up, as you can see. That's everything inside. This is metal, just so you know. Let's have a quick turn. So it looks like the instructions for this are right at the very start of this build. So it's looking like that. And then it goes into a little bit of history of the U-boats, especially the U96 there, with some historical photos, some blueprints there. Pretty good magazine. Magazine in itself is a collecting item. And as I said, this is what's coming in part 2. So, with that in mind and looking at everything we got here, let's start building. So without further ado, let's get cracking. So what we have here on this metal piece is the port side of the bow. This is all metal. Don't know if you can hear that. And it looks just like that. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take one of these connectors. This looks like that. And that's going to fit on these 2 holes just here like that. Now it's going to be held in with some AM screws. The screws come in this pack. And again, this is a trial. You'd normally expect the letters to be written on the pack, but in this one they're not. So I'm guessing these are the AM screws. They are the only screws that come in this pack. Now, we are going into metal. So, you know, I always put my screws in oil just to aid cutting these in, because I'm guessing there is a little bit of paint on those threads where this whole piece, or is that what the outside of a submarine's called? Is it still the hull? Or is it just the body piece? I don't know. I don't know. My knowledge of submarines is terrible, or U-boats, should I say. Looks just like that. We do have another connecting piece looking like that. That's going to go onto these ones at the bottom here. And in a similar way, put that in with some AM screws. See, I don't shy away from not having knowledge of things. To be honest with you, I learnt most things about battleships from doing the Bismarck build. So it is a learning process as I'm doing the build here. But there you go. That's the other connector in. Now this here is the third connector to go in. That's going to go along this edge just here. So get that lined up this way round, I believe. So it's looking like that. The flat side is this side here. And again, AM screws. That one's 1. That one's 2. So 3 connectors in there now. So next stage, we're going to be taking this piece here, which is the upper port muzzle door. And it is labelled UL, as you can see, stamped on there. We're going to take one of the hinges, which is a metal hinge. Completely metal, and then on this sprue we want to cut off the bracket for the hinge, which again is also labelled UL. So just trying to find that here. That's this one just here. I'm going to need sprue cutters to get that one off. So line it up, snip it off. So this is going to be going over the lug that we have there, and the hinge is going to be going underneath this to be pinned into place. So it's going to look kind of like, whoops, that. Once again, that is held in, get it lined up with AM screws. So put that in a little bit of oil again and get that screwed all the way in, nice and tight. So now we have a hinge on that section. We're going to be doing exactly the same on the second section here. This one's stamped UR. So again, the hinge will be going here, and on this little sprue we have a UR clip. Get that cut off. and put this in exactly the same way. Again, make sure that screw is nice and tight in there. And then you can see we've got another hinge on that side. And what that means is at the end of this stage, we do have the 2 hinged pieces here, and we've got the bow section with the connector clips. We do have 2 clips still to go on this sprue, so I need to keep that safe. And in this stage as well, they do provide, like you saw yesterday, one of these black pH, this looks like a PHO, it might be a PH1 actually, this looks like, a bit bigger than the last one. I don't actually use these, I still use my wearer screwdriver, which is in my Amazon store. But that's all there is to do in this stage. So what do you think of that? There's a lot to do in the first issue for $1.99, and great big metal parts as well. You can see how big this is actually going to be, but I'm pretty impressed. I would be shocked if we don't see this in the next 18 months, but there you go. Now, once again, if you want to subscribe to this, I have put the link down in the video description. Remember, this is just a trial, so I don't know what's going to happen with your subscription details. They may keep it on file and notify you when it does go into full production, or you may get one of these, or you may get nothing at all. Who knows? That's the gamble you take. Anyway, I really do hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.